Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM, taking you up until 2 here on the show. If you missed any of the show, get the Tobin and Leroy podcast for you, available on all podcast platforms. And the Odyssey app is where you guys can listen to us on the air. Let's get to some headlines here, brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
All right, Leroy. We have gotten a very important update from Mike McDaniel on Tua Tagovailoa and his jiu-jitsu. Let us hear from McCochin on Tua's BJJ and how he's using it in practice.
You know, with Coach Paloka and Kyle Johnston and how they, vetted whoever the master of jiu-jitsu would be. I think it was really cool from an organizational standpoint and from Tua's standpoint, and I feel great about the results. We've only had one time in camp so far in live action that it was in OTAs actually. In OTAs, he got stepped on and he fell down backwards and completed a backward somersault. It's pretty sweet.
Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo! Business is picked up, boys. Goosies. Wow. Football, dude. Marcos, football, right?
Marcos.
That goes beyond.
No.
It goes beyond.
I'm not going to sit here and see you with that smirk because I know what the hell you thinking and then all of a sudden buy in.
What?
No.
What do you mean?
No.
Why?
Don't be fraudulent, Marcos.
Dude,
I know what that look means.
he did a backflip, dude.
He said, you got to be bleeping me. We having this conversation.
What are you talking about? Backwards.
He got his toe stepped on and he decided to do a backflip.
Yeah, no, backwards somersault. Well, that's how you do it. You brace fall right into the somersault. That's how you do it in jiu-jitsu. It's one of the first things you learn. It means he's taking it to the field, dude. This is great stuff.
It also was with no pads and then OTAs.
Doesn't matter.
Dude, can I just tell you something? Let me say this as honestly as I can.
Great.
It's not when you can prepare for it. It's when you can't.
Exactly.
Okay. So
you think he was prepared?
Here's what I would do personally.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the BJJ is all great.
Seems like
and it's a good skill to pick up on or what have you. But entertain me for a second.
Sure.
And here's what gets me. So we're going to sit here and have a conversation about Tua's preparation to get sacked while not having a conversation of trying to stop him from getting hit so damn much.
Well, again, I understand.
No. You got to answer my question.
Okay, but here's what you're
because we still got that same offensive line. So they're basically saying we better get Tua ready for some awkward situations.
Well, the falls were all very awkward though, especially the one against the Bills. I mean, he got shove-skied. If he could have done a somersault, who knows? Braced his fall.
Now, what's the difference between a somersault and a flip?
A flip is you go aerodynamic, you go into the air. Like if you saw Justin Gaethje after this.
When's the last time you've been off the ground to be explaining this?
Well, you asked.
Okay.
Somersault is you're kind of like almost like a backwards Sonic the Hedgehog, if you will. On
like
the
a roll.
Yeah, like a backwards roll.
But when you say somersault, I'm thinking you're airborne.
No, don't be silly. That's a backflip. Everybody knows. You think Tua's out there like Cirque du Soleil?
Which, by the way,
I did think
they have a show in every casino.
Yep. No, they do, but like you sound silly. You think Tua's out here, he's doing backflips like he's come on. He's not
Next year he's going to practice on the ropes.
He's not an acrobat.
Next year he's going to be practicing on the ropes.
Actually, this has inspired Mike McDaniel. He now says because they didn't practice hitting, quarterback doesn't get hit, Leroy, non-contact jersey. But they have actually implemented drills now in Dolphins land to get the team ramped up for QBs taking hits?
We found that there's certain drills that we can apply to all the quarterbacks, because you're right. It was something that really talking to Teddy Bridgewater last year randomly, he was like, yeah, it's so irritating. Like, we go 0 to 60. And it's like, okay, well, that is true. That's what a wild existence. So we've done our best to come up with some drills so that they can fall over.
So can I
A lot
ask a
of it's
question?
just me pushing them. It's not.
Love
We have to check to make sure he's done.
No, I know you. Well, you love to jump in on him.
Well, because you don't know when he's going to stop.
Well,
so
kills the punchline.
We're taking advice from Teddy Bridgewater, and you decided that you weren't going to retain his services?
Well, it wasn't really advice. It was just an interesting observation from Teddy Bridgewater.
And as long as he's been around football, we haven't picked up on that quarterbacks go from 0 to 60?
Not
because they don't get touched ever in practice?
Right. So now
that's nothing new.
We're changing the game.
You didn't need Confucius to come and drop that tidbit of information to you.
Wasn't Confucius, it was Teddy Bridgewater. I don't understand. So you don't think it's a great thing that they're prepping for this?
I just like.
You know what I call this?
What?
Covering all your bases, dude.
You know what I would like to do?
What's that?
Cover all the defenders.
I understand, but like, okay. Leroy, you know this as a footballer, as a professional. Sometimes chaos happens. And what do you do if you're not prepared for chaos?
But you can minimize it.
You're right. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Having better protection.
Understood. However, even the best protection sometimes breaks down. And in those situations, wouldn't you like it if Tua knew how to do a somersault?
So, and just hear me out on this.
Right.
If you have to get your quarterback ready for unnecessary hits, then basically what you're saying is you don't trust offensive line?
No, dude. Here's the thing. See, this is why you're silly. I respect your opinion.
There's 31 other teams.
Nope. I respect your opinion. That's okay. It's a copycat league. Once everybody sees what the Dolphins are doing and they realize, then all of a sudden you'll see Joe Burrow in a gi. Okay. So just so we're clear.
He didn't get hurt getting pushed. He got hurt doing nothing.
He's just got bad legs, apparently. Won't hear anything about it, though. Anyway, my point is, you just want to cover your base. When we're on the plane, right? Okay. Do I really think I'm going to need to know how to blow into my life vest? No. But it's nice to cover your base.
Can I just tell you something? I do a show with an idiot. Marcos, here's where this man went to try to explain to me why two of these BJJ. Do we No, I'm not. Dude, I gotta tell you what. I gotta tell you, if we get ready for a water landing, the last thing you're gonna be thinking about is whether I blew up my life vest. Because I gotta tell you, we barely got off the runway yesterday.
Oh, it was so scary.
Dude, we were driving zigzag down the runway. No lie. We did like that. And then we went up. I'm like, whoa. Meanwhile, I'm already a little anxious about flying because I'm not a big fan of flying. The lady behind me was not helping.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
You can't call an audible out for anxiety.
Anxiety. Right? Okay, we'll stop the wind.
So yes, you're right. Obviously, the best part is let's have a good pilot, right? So let's have a good O-line. That's numero uno. In that case, you got to make sure Tua's got the life vest. And the life vest is
the hell just happened there?
I don't know, but he kind of tied it in, and
Thank you.
I'm scared that I understand what he was trying to say, because it's not like me. Like, this is something I would fight, but I think the Eli Apple situation got me shook. I'm shook. So I may be agreeing with you more just because I'm shook by this Eli Apple thing. I ain't backing down, but I'm just shook because I'm caught in an awkward, uncomfortable situation that I don't normally get caught in.
We close the segment with this. Shmeeth and Schmolnick says Tua does BJJ, Tobin does PBJ. Wish you was a better corner, bro. Then the game-winning touchdown would have been scored on you.
I mean, at least be close to him, right?
Wasn't even close.
Where do you think that guy's going? He's not running a hitch, dude. Nobody wants a bad, trash-talking athlete.
You had your guy. You immediately thought, good, Eli Apple failed. I went down.
But he sucked.
He did suck. Oh, he was awful.
Dude, he sucked. You just had 100+ million people watch how bad you suck. I tried to keep it buttoned down for the whole show.
Toast.
But Eli Apple, come see me, you bum.
Oh,
no. See me. Come see me.
Wow.
Let's talk about that Louisiana food. Food tastes better for winners.
Bro, the only advice I want from Eli Apple is breakfast, because you burnt toast.
Yes. You ain't Jalen Ramsey. You can't talk trash.
Wow. I like this. It's great having the shoe on the other foot. How you doing, Leroy?
Well, I was extremely entertained by the Twitchers. And let me just read some of these.
Uh-huh.
Game Boy says John Denny was the black box of the plane. Wait, here's my favorite one. Tua has to learn how to be like a piece of spaghetti when you tackle him. Whatever the hell.
True. Very good point. Very good point.
No, it's not.
RVA Richie says the Tobin is strong in Leroy.
Dude, come on. Oh, man.
Al Macco says those receipts got pulled harder than the IRS audit.
Oh, yeah. But guess what?
What?
Here's the difference. There ain't nothing that I said that wasn't true.
Well,
no, go. Name one thing that I have.
I'm not saying anything you said wasn't true. Just like when I say what I say, it's not true.
No.
Sometimes the facts change.
You went at a guy for saying nothing. You go after James Harden. James Harden didn't say that nonsense.
I don't know, but I'm liking watching right now. I'm reading because practice is going on. And so fans are intense, which means we get live tweets from the reporters. And from Daniel Wifusi from the Miami Herald, Raheem Mostert just got stonewalled and pancaked to the ground by undrafted rookie DT Brandon Pilley on a run stuff. Pads are on.
You know what I call that?
What?
That's those landmines that veterans have to avoid, right? You out there, you out there getting ready for a season. There's somebody out there trying to make the team.
Yeah.
You got to be aware at all times that it. So, say for example, if Javon Holland come down, right, he gonna butt you up because y'all getting ready for the season. But if undrafted linebacker comes down, you better put your mouthpiece in. It's go time. Got to avoid those landmines.
Omar Kelly adds that he threw Mostert and celebrated. Pads are on. He got a talking to from coaches after his celebration. I bet that was, hey, that's our starting running back.
No, that wasn't it.
Then what was it?
It was.
Good job.
No, it was. Hey, if you're gonna talk trash like that and celebrate like that, you better do it every time.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Also, apparently, we have our first interception in camp from Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, of course.
Apparently, Apparently, it's been, though, a very heated backup quarterback battle. That's what the word is on the street is. And that maybe Skyler's getting the best of Mike White. Even though Mike White's got got the backup deal. I think he's getting like 4.5 guaranteed on an $8 million contract. So we'll see. Maybe we haven't had a lot of luck with the local guys coming back. I got to be honest with you. It seems like
glad you admit that.
We've touched
because you are excited about the local guys.
Well, we've touched every county. We had Jacoby Brissett in Palm Beach. We had Bridgewater last year, Dade, and now we have Mike White from Broward. And I'm not saying he won't do good. Maybe he will. I'm just saying like it hasn't worked out as of yet with the local kids coming back.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett had his best year as a pro with the Browns.
Not with the Dolphins.
Not with the Dolphins.
Not with the Dolphins.
Right.
Not with the Dolphins. He was terrible.
But here's the other thing you have to understand. And sometimes this is a hard thing for people to understand. Usually the guys who have the best success as a backup are the guys that are closest to your starter. And there weren't many guys that they brought in that play similar to Tua. Because one of the things that Tua is extremely accurate.
Yeah.
And so if you bring in a backup quarterback that hasn't been in his career very accurate, it ain't going to never look right.
Travis Wingfield says Jalen Waddle gets 5 yards of separation on a double move against Eli Apple, but Skylar Thompson's throw was too long.
Hey.
Oof.
What did I tell you?
Well,
I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, I don't even know what the route is. It was some kind of slant and go, stop and go, something like that. That dude likes to eat. So he's biting on everything.
Doesn't like to eat in New Orleans, though.
No, he
apparently not.
And New Orleans didn't like him eating there. So there.
There's also a great tweet from Travis that just has a football term I've never heard of, but I like it.
What?
Tua tries the honey hole with Tyreek Hill, splitting the high-low defenders. What the hell's the honey hole?
What is a honey hole?
What's
You
a
ready?
honey hole? I like that.
I'm going to tell you what it is.
It's right next to the bread basket.
Minus
Oh,
one.
it's pretty close.
-1.
This is the bread basket.
Yeah.
The honey hole is the distance between the deep safety and the linebackers.
Ah.
So you create a honey hole by doing play action, right? Because the linebacker got to step up, and then it creates space. Honey hole.
But why?
Huh?
But why honey?
I don't know. He
Is
just gave it that name, try to be creative.
Is
but
it like
that's
you're
what it is?
You're like avoiding the bees, like you're avoiding a sting because it's between the linebacker and safety. There's the honey.
Yep.
The honey, like the sweet spot
That's the sweet spot. Okay.
in the secondary.
It's not like when
If you look at most of the success that tight ends have, it's usually one or two areas: crossing in front of a deep dropping linebacker, or play action and hitting them over the top of that linebacker. D.
Matthews says, "Sweet spot on the field. Come on, Tobin." I never heard of it because like the way I'm picturing honey hole is like
don't. Nobody cares what you picture because your picture has nothing to do with football or anything like that.
No, it does. Because I was exactly. I'm picturing Tua in a forest, and he's trying to throw it like where like a bee's hive is, and there's there's honey there. You know how like Pooh Bear would always go, honey. You know,
and that's why I said don't.
I'm high as a kite, Yogi.
Because then you have like when somebody hits a three.
You know what I realized? I have to be here, or nobody would learn a damn thing about what's going on the football field.
What, dude? I'm just saying. Honey hole. I love that.
If somebody didn't explain what it was before you got set free, everybody would be walking around this city wondering what the hell is the honey hole. He meant the sweet spot.
I like that. No, listen, shout out Travis. I mean, this is a big football guy. He knows. Dade South knew. Dade South knew too. He was trying to teach me some football.
Right here in the bread basket and the honey hole.
No,
they're close.
Totally
they're close.
Bread basket Or like, say if the quarterback throws it and hits him in the stomach right here, hit him right in the breadbasket.
See, I was thinking like basically like back in the day. You know, remember how like like Larry Bird used to go practice on a farm? You know, he had this basket on a dirt driveway. I picture like an old time.
He was 8, dude. He was 8 years old.
I picture like an old time quarterback throwing at a hole in a tree. That's the honey hole.
Wow.
Yep. But I was wrong. I'm glad you taught me. You teach me that football. I like it.
That's how old Oyster Burns learned how to pitch. Just throw me that tree.
Yep. Well, then
clearly he didn't pitch well enough because he still had to sell oysters in the off season.
Well, there wasn't a CBA back then.
Oh my goodness.
Honey hole. I like that. Is I don't know.
Did you ever draw up that play? Did you draw up anything in the honey hole?
No, I will now though. I'll add to it.
Bootleg scoot boogie.
Yeah.
Dude.
What?
You do realize that the play that you draw has to cover everything.
I know. Leroy was explaining to me last night. We were on the ride home from the airport. He was explaining plays to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right. Because I just feel like I just got to hit him with some razzle dazzle and it'll be good. I think I can do it though.
Because here's the deal. You got to protect it. If you're going to be back there tossing the ball back and forth to one another for like 2 or 3 seconds, like somebody got to be blocking for a long period of time. You never took that into consideration. You just think, oh, they're going to stand there and go, ooh, which way is the ball going? No.
Right in the honey hole.
They're going to go hit somebody.
Speaking of honey hole, it's time for Leroy's game balls and game bums. That's next.
Previously on.
Hey, boo-boo, we're going to do some blow.
I'm high as a kite, Yogi.